Yo, what's up? My name is Petrowski, and it is finally here. Alongside the spoilers for Johto, we're getting a huge patch, the Pokemon 10-year anniversary event, Part 3, which actually carries on some more mechanics and interesting gameplay than I expected, so let's go ahead and jump into it. First of all, Alpha Swarms. That's right, Alpha Pokemon are back, which is a huge deal, and in a different way. These are not the same type of Alpha Swarms. It seems like these are not the same type of Alpha Swarm that we saw before, because the alpha swarms we saw before would stick around for a long time, and you would have until the beginning and then until the end of the anniversary event to encounter them. These are going to be different. These are going to operate in a different way. These are rare swarms. Also, like the ones during the 10-year anniversary event were static. These seem to be different. These seem different, where it's formidable boss can be found once per in-game day and will wait for challengers for 1 hour. Only 1 hour. So what's going to happen is there's going to be one alpha swarm. I don't know if this is going to continue for like ever, if this is just a new mechanic. If this is a new mechanic forever, that's really, really cool. That is really, really, really exciting. To have like this is like what players enjoy. Like this daily sort of interesting waiting for this hunt is so cool. So once per in-game day, we will wait for challenges for 1 hour. That is so exciting. So a 24-hour period, but don't wait too long. They're very hard to catch. Make sure when you're catching Breloom, etc., etc. This is so interesting. This is going to introduce new alpha Pokemon into the GTL, into the atmosphere. If you don't know, new alpha Pokemon means more hidden abilities. So if you like hidden abilities, this is what you care about. If you like making money, I mean, this is what you care about. Alphas make so much money when you catch them. So I'm going to make sure, being logged on and just seeing when the alpha swarm is happening daily now is going to be a big deal, and trying to be online during that time. And sometimes you'll be asleep and you'll miss it, and that's just how it's going to go. And I think that's awesome. I think it's interesting. I think it's cool. I think it rewards players who play a lot, which, I like to do to some extent. You want to reward those people who, put the most time in and put the most effort in, right? But you don't want to like discourage new players. I think this is a good mix of encouraging the players who play a lot and not discouraging others. So that's incredible. Alphas have the hidden ability attribute and always have high IV. Secondary encounters around the alphas have a small chance to have their hidden ability. That's interesting. So it's actually worth to catch the secondary encounters around the alphas. Interesting. Alphas will let you retry a battle. Yup. You'll be rewarded with XP candy if you can defeat it. That is also interesting. A new menu in your Pokedex has been added to keep track of alphas. That's incredible as well. And you can check the Pokedex to see what's released. That's a huge deal. And here we see an alpha Floatzel. Super, super exciting. I also love this feature. Now, this feature is super beneficial to those solo players, those players who may not have friends who play Pokemon, or may not have a Discord, or may not have a team or clan or whatever it may be. This is awesome. So the town map, they've coded it to actually show you whenever an alpha swarm is happening. That's really, really cool in my opinion. I love this. Maybe one of my favorite things. There's so much stuff in this update, guys. This is gonna be a long video, so I appreciate your patience. Let's try to get through a little quicker. But I think that's really, really cool. Really exciting to see that. Let's get through things a little quicker. Excuse me. Now, this is an interesting one. Prismatic Pearls allow you to shift the hidden ability attribute from one party member to another, but they only work for members of the same species tree. This, when I read it, I was like, why? I don't understand. I was like, I didn't understand it. But what they're saying is, let's say you have a 6x31 Eevee that you want to make a 6x31 Pokemon that is already a competitive Pokemon that you already have made and bred and everything, but it doesn't have its hidden ability. Before Prismatic Pearls, you would have to just you'd have to sell off that Eevee and just breed a new one from scratch that had the alpha ability. Now you can use a Prismatic Pearl to transfer the alphaness or the I guess hidden ability, excuse me, the hidden ability from one Eevee in your party that's a shit Eevee that just happens to have access to its hidden ability to an already made competitive Pokemon. That's what it seems like being, which is pretty interesting. Now the way you get Prismatic Pearls is even more interesting. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Baron Moray is a man with expensive taste. He'll only trade you Prismatic Pearls in exchange for a shiny. That's right, a shiny Pokemon will be consumed. Shinies can be valued anywhere from 4 to 28 pearls, depending on the rarity, with special bonuses for alpha shinies and secret shinies. I will say, I hope it'll be interesting to see who's the first person to trade in a secret or alpha shiny to him to see what the special bonus is, because that's hilarious. If it's just more Prismatic Pearls, that'll be interesting. This is really good. Shiny sinks are a really good thing for the economy and for the game. It'll be funny to see who actually goes through with these. Prismatic Pearls are going to be really expensive because no one's going to want to do this, right? This is This is interesting, to say the least. More can be found in the Celadon City Hotel, Lily Cove City Hotel, Valor Lakefront near the Seven Stars Restaurant, and Undella Town by the beach. Now, I almost wanted to separate this into different videos because, guys, this is game-breaking, like, updates and content, like, in a good way. Assault Vest. We have Assault Vest. That is such a big deal. If you don't know what Assault Vest is, it's an item from I forget what generation, Gen 6, Gen 7, Gen 8, one of those later generations of Pokemon that increases the holder's special defense, as we see, by 50%, but prevents them from using status moves. So things like Slowbro love this. You can stick it on a Slowbro, make him really, really tanky. 50% is insane. And then you just use like Psychic and Surf and like some assortment of coverage moves and such. And you just move attack. As long as you have only attacking moves, Assault Vest, well, it's called Assault Gear here to, wink, wink, to avoid, Nintendo coming down. But it's just so crazy. It's so interesting. It's so nuts. That's so cool. And they're also finally doing something about Amnesia Brace. This is interesting. This is crazy cool. The training link, I haven't read this yet, has replaced the Amnesia Brace. The training link doubles EVs and allows its holder to gain EVs even if they don't proceed in battle, but the holder can't gain any XP while holding it. This item is account bound. It can be traded between characters on an account, but can't leave the account. Players who had an Amnesia Brace have had their item automated. So I have this now because I had an Amnesia Brace. For those who don't know, Amnesia Brace was a very weird, at least I'm thinking of the correct item. Amnesia Brace was a very weird item that was only really, Amnesia Brace was only relevant back in like 2014, pre like 2015, I think, because back then we didn't have tournament mode PvP. So what would happen is you would just battle for PvP and like for tournaments and stuff. And if someone had a Pokemon that was above level 50, they would get disqualified. So like you couldn't have a competitive Pokemon that was above level 50, which also meant things like Dragonite and things like T-Tar like couldn't be used in 50s tier. So it was the same thing like back in traditional Pokemon. They had like 100 tier, but no one played level 100s. But it was so interesting. Like what happened was you had to get an Amnesia Brace, because what Amnesia Brace would do, it would allow you to gain EVs on your Pokemon, but not gain XP, which was really crucial for that because you couldn't go over level 50. Because if you did, so if you caught like a level 48 Pokemon in the wild that's like competitive ready, you couldn't go EV train it and like train it without Amnesia Brace because you would over level it with the EVs and everything, right? So that's why that existed. Pretty outdated, but it's really cool to see that they are really changing it. Double EVs is insane. That is really cool. Anything to make EV training faster and stuff is always like at this point it's already so fast. If we're making it faster, like who cares? Like it's not like power creep or anything. Might as well just save some time and let people get into competitive play more. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, it's still early morning. Okay. More stuff. Missed gameplay changes. Trainer data, blah, blah. Mysterious gems. I don't even know what these are, going to be totally honest. Alpha Monsters Glow has been improved. Cool. The maximum price of GTL rare stackable items got increased. That's kind of funny. Nothing here is super important. Now, the Brown and Werewolf Gray Mask, they got an interesting update, which is awesome. An animation that is now triggerable, and their sprites have been updated. Really cool vanities. I think they're really underrated. I really like the gray one for sure. Cool to see that. Great vanities. Let's continue on. So some technology changes. Pokemon can now automatically extract compressed archives from ROMs for during setup. This is actually just nice. It just helps people just get into the game, make it like install and everything easier. The client this is actually a big deal. I've actually had issues with this. So the client is now able to automatically switch audio devices upon disconnection. Players can select explicit audio output device in the settings menu under setup. So I've actually had an issue with this, funnily enough, where sometimes like if I like unplug my headphones or something accidentally, if you unplug your headphones while playing Pokemon and then plug them back in, you actually can't hear any sound on Pokemon. It's really funny. Like you can't hear any sound until you restart the game. So now you can like do this without restarting the client, which isn't a big deal. Restart wasn't that hard, but still really cool to see this. Mobile stuff, iOS stuff. If you want to read this, all the links for this will be down in the description below. There are some important bug fixes that I do want to cover really quickly, so let's go ahead and go through them. This is just covering the same thing. Town maps like can render the swarm now, so that this is just saying like it can render accurate positions, which is really cool for the swarms. There's some other stuff down here. Let's go down. I remember I tried to keep these in the back of my mind. I wanted to read through this so I could get all of the interesting bug fixes and then just tell them all to you guys. I'm not seeing, where was it? Excuse me. Sorry, guys, doing this in real time. This is an interesting one. So, fuck, I've never seen this, which is really funny, but I love this one. Fixed an issue where the camera would do a totally sick loop-de-loop when entering the Universe Victory Road. I've never seen that issue, but now I regret never seeing that issue. This one was one that I had as well. Fixed an issue where reorganizing your PC would not update the AFK timer. This is cool. I've definitely been AFK logged many times while, like, sorting through my PC and like selling off Pokemon to the GTL, or just sorting, or like, you know, looking at stuff on my PC. Now that will not get you AFK'd, which is cool. It wasn't a big deal. Like, what I would do is I would usually just like walk away from the PC and then walk back and re-enter the PC to reset it. Kind of got used to that. It's not a big deal. Or I would just relog if I got AFK'd. But it's nice. I love the small changes like that. Like, it's just to get around those little quirks and everything. There were some more interesting things that got changed. Sketch can no longer be cast against semi-invulnerable targets during fly and dig and stuff. That's pretty interesting that was the case before. This is a big deal. This is a really cool one for like randoms and such, and like any sort of PvP, really. Battles now accurately show the currently held item when the item is changed through moves like Trick. This is a really big deal. If you tricked an item, you couldn't see. You had to remember, because you couldn't see that like on the Pokemon summary page or anything. So that's like actually a really big deal. This is actually really helpful. Really good for clarity. Really good for helping new players get into PvP, not having to like just remember that and stuff. So that's always fantastic. It's always super nice. Secret Power would play like damage before its animation in battle. It's interesting. I think if there was anything else that was interesting, there's some reactive gas changes that I don't know how they affect PvP. Honestly, you have to read through them yourself. Any other issues? Soft lock here. That's kind of interesting. Where the Kanto Friends particle effect would crash when using certain ROM files, and more. They kind of leave it secret, but oh, and here we go. Whew, huge deal. Players, hopefully you guys have watched till the end. I know it's a long video and it's a little dry, but this is important. Players who currently have anniversary medallions from Pokemon's 10th anniversary event will have them replaced at a ratio of 1:7 for anniversary chests in this update. I'm excited to log on and see that change. The terms of service have been updated. No content changes occurred aside from the domain change. Gotcha. Yeah, I remember this. Fuck. Someone actually on TikTok, someone commented to someone. They were like, hey, someone was asking for the website, and someone said Pokemo.com, and I was like, no, it's actually Pokemo.eu. But I was wrong. They actually changed it to Pokemo.com. It was Pokemo.eu for 9 years or something, and they changed it, which is good. I mean, they should have the domain. It's a good change. It's a good thing. But I was wrong, and I apologize to whoever I misled on TikTok. And this was also an interesting, important thing. So the last thing, guys, truly the last thing. Due to this patch's economic changes, GTL listings for these items were canceled to prevent sniping. Brown and Grey Wolf masks, because people could go on and snipe. They're probably going to raise in price is what they're saying, so they could snipe them. So they canceled all those, and all shinies and secret shinies got canceled, which is a good thing. Go relist them. It's not a big deal. Go relist them for the proper price. So I think that is everything. All of this plus Johto. Pokemon is changing every day. Ladies and gentlemen and people of royalty, I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are excited. Thank you so much for watching all this. If you made it to the end, you're incredible. Maybe do a loop-de-loop in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it and this was helpful to you. Subscribe for more daily Pokemon content and updates of the sort. Discord link is down below. I stream Monday through Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. And then if you want to go above and beyond, financial links are down below to help support the channel and support the stream and keep allowing me to make content. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day. I will see you guys later. I'm excited for the future of Pokemon. Hopefully you guys are too.